All right, family, we black once again with another powerful presentation of who is Piye Piankhi, the great founder and spiritual architect of Egypt's 25th dynasty. You know, the fourth golden age of ancient Kemet. No one talks about. I'm in the house, family. We're in the house. This is a very powerful brother. He's one whom they call the Semitawi, the reuniters, the reunifier of the land. You see, the reunifier of the land. And you have is four great Semitawis. And we're gonna talk about it. If you're in the house, let me know you're in the house, family. Let me know is the sound good? Let me know. Put it in there. Tap in if you're in the house. Uh, we talking about the Semitawis. We talking about the reunifiers of the land. The first sounds good. Good. All right. Good. Good. We talking about the reunifiers of the land. Narmer, the very first king of ancient Egypt, was a Semitawi. He reunified the land. It was always unified, but he had to reunify the land. Also, Mentuhotep II, who founded the Middle Kingdom. He was the sixth king of the 11th dynasty, but he was the founder of the Middle Kingdom, a Semitawi. Reunified the land. It was fractionalized. You had a ruler in Lower Kemet, you had a ruler in Upper Kemet. So Mentuhotep Narmer, also Amos, the liberator, Amos the first of the 18th dynasty, reunified the land, ran the Hyksos, reunified the land, and then the great one, Piye Piankhi of the 25th dynasty, who ruled 744 to 714 BC. Okay, Egypt was a divided nation under the Libyans. And that just show you right there that nobody, when you look at the Nubians, when you look at Piankhi, he's a spiritual architect. His love for Amen, the ancient traditions of Waset, Egypt and Nubia. He didn't come in to force, Nubian culture, because much of the culture of Egypt was Nubian. You see, he came to reestablish what was already there. And so Piankhi and the 25th dynasty, they was about the old kingdom. You see, that was that root that established the greatness of Egypt. You see, and that's why, they went, established the pyramid burials. And this is astounding. People is not even thinking about this. That, the 25th dynasty reissued pyramid building almost 1,500 years after Egypt had already abandoned pyramid building. And here come the 25th dynasty. You see, connecting back to the ancient root. Okay? So Piankhi ruled as a pious restorer of ancient Egypt and the ancient kingship. Now, when he came in, he could have easily crushed his adversaries, the Libyans. He could have crushed them. But you see, he accepted submission and ritual loyalty rather than mass destruction. Egypt was already in shambles. It was already in shambles. It had already disconnected under the Libyans. It was disconnected from its ancient root. So he didn't want to go in there and cause mass destruction. The people were so, so glad that he had come. You see, they was like, they just threw many of them just threw the gates open for Piankhi. You know what I'm saying? Thank Amen that the brother has come down to breathe life into ancient Kemet. And so it wasn't like he was a conqueror. He wasn't a conqueror. He was a liberator. He was liberating Egypt. He didn't conquer. Why would he? They was literally throwing the gates open for him. You see? And so he's, they were ruling the pharaohs of the 25th dynasty were ruling as divinely selected kings of Amen. Okay? The divine, and this is must be understood that Amen was the supreme deity also in Nubia. You understand? And a lot of and many Egyptians were going to Napata, which is the twin city to Waset, Luxor, Karnak. Napata is the twin city venerating Amen. You see, venerating Amen. And many Egyptians went south to Napata to pilgrimages because the great mountain of Amen, Jebel Barkal, which is in Napata, and when you look at this mountain, you will see what it looks like is a uraeus, cut into the mountain, but it's a natural formation. And so when you look at the Nubian crown, they designed the Nubian crown after the mountain Jebel Barkal, okay? And so you can look that up, and it says that is the throne of Amen. So many Egyptians would go to Napata on pilgrimages to venerate the great god Amen. And so Piankhi restored old kingdom styles, titles, arts, and rituals. Now, if you look at the 19th dynasty with Seti the First, Ramesses the Second, also Ramesses the Third. See, they knew that a lot of them 18th dynasty, and people say, what dynasty was the greatest dynasty? There were a lot of great kings and queens in the 18th dynasty, but they were so rich that a lot of them went crazy, and they started because they had an empire that stretched all over the world. They had a lot of allegiance and influence, you understand, by outsiders more so a lot of time than the influence on the inside. And so they began to, hands reaching into the Levant, hands reaching into Asia, Sumeria, Greece, and up in Europe. And they began to turn their backs on the southern root that really blossomed Egypt, gave Egypt life. You see? And so many of them pharaohs in the 19th dynasty, the 20th dynasty, oh yeah, Tutmosis III, most definitely. He is the one that established Napata. I believe Tutmosis III is the one that established Napata. And Tutmosis III did venerate Set. Some of them, not all of them. I didn't say all the 18th dynasty. Many, but when you start getting toward the end, you see, when you start getting toward the end, it get a little funny. You see, it get a little funny now. And I'm going to just say that. But Seti came and he cleaned the king's list off. All them crazies, he kept them up off the list. And that's why he went back to the name Seti, Ta-Seti. It's time to tap back in. We done went too far with this craziness. Time to tap back in. Ramesses II, he went down to Abu Simbel. He built temples at Wadi El Sabua. Man, Ramesses built temples, but that's why when you look at Abu Simbel is facing Nubia. You see, this was tribute to the Nubians because his wife, Nefertari II, was Nubian. And so he faced a lot of them temples. He went down, and when you establishing, beautiful temples, you building that, they built up Nubia. You see? And so Tutmosis III, I believe, was the pharaoh that established Napata. But Napata was already sacred, but he went in there, he put temples down there. You see, and that is the spiritual capital of the Nubian people. And so Piankhi and they reintroduced pyramid burials. And we have to understand again that Nubia has more pyramids than Egypt, and the Nubian pyramid age lasted longer than Egypt's pyramid age by almost double, because Nubia's pyramid age lasted 1,000 years. Well, I had it written down, lasted for 1,000 years. Okay, I love one of my, here you go. Yeah, it lasted for 1,000 years, from 750 BC to 350 BC, where Egypt's pyramid age only lasted 500 to 550 years, from Zosia 2630 to Pepi II 2180 BC. Okay, so it lasted almost 500 years. And so many people try to say that the Nubians are mimicking. No, they're not mimicking, because that's where it came from anyway. The Nubians began to build pyramids almost 1,500 years after Egypt. They were tapping back into the root that breathed and gave Egypt life. Breathed life into Egypt. They went back to the old kingdom. They tapped in. And so Piankhi most definitely is the founder and spiritual architect of that dynasty. Piankhi. A lot of people say, oh, Piankhi is still, that's my uncle's name. That's the name that Dr. Ben gave him, Piankhi, Piye. And so we give nothing but honor to that Semitawi, because he is a Semitawi. He is a reunifier of the land. And he was also, when we say Pharaoh, we have to also, acknowledge the fact that this was empire. This was empire. The 25th dynasty brought Nubia, Egypt, and many areas in the Levant under one empire. You see, so these kings and pharaohs of the 25th dynasty were emperors. You see what I'm saying? They're powerful. After 400 years, almost 500, with Egypt in shambles, out of nowhere, like a rose in the desert. Here come the great 25th dynasty, led by the founder, one of the greatest pharaohs of all time. You got to give it to him. When you see, you got to give him credit. He got to be in the top 10. He got to be in the top 10. He got to be in the top 10. I don't see how you could leave him out. It's a lot of great kings. It's a lot of great kings. He's if he ain't in the top 10, he in the top 15. Because there's a lot of great ones over 3,000 years. We just getting started this evening, family. If you let me know what you think about Piankhi, give it the 25th dynasty, make some comments down there so this can really be a very informative video. Get a video a thumbs up, and I'll see y'all real soon. Peace and Black Power.